Hey guys, today I am bringing you a little book versus movie discussion, and this video is being sponsored by Scholastic. It's not really a book versus movie debate, because honestly the book to movie adaptation that I'm talking about is pretty much flawless, and that is the Hunger Games trilogy. I wonder what gave away the fact that I was going to be talking about that trilogy in today's video. Was it the books behind me, or was it the title? Can we all just agree that this trilogy was translated fantastically on the big screen? The crew behind the movies did an impeccable job, the actors freaking became the characters, and the tone of the story was completely 100% captured within those films. Before I dive into this little discussion, I wanted to point out the fact that this month Booksplosion is actually doing a Hunger Games Appreciation Month, so you can reread the books or rewatch the movies and then join us at the end of the month for a full-on discussion on the books and the movies of the Hunger Games trilogy. But today I am going to be discussing a few things from the books that didn't make it into the films that I would have liked to have seen, and I'm also going to be talking about a few changes that were made in the movies that I really enjoyed. I've got a list of 5 different things, so without further ado, let's get started. The first on my list is the character Madge. I loved the character Madge when reading the Hunger Games. Now I know that she doesn't appear much throughout the story, but I do think that she has kind of a big role, considering she is the one that brings the Mockingjay into play. And I mean, the Mockingjay becomes the image of the rebellion throughout this story. It's kind of a big deal. That's not the only reason I think it would have been nice to have Madge a part of the films. I think another reason is because seeing female friendships in media is super important. We live in a world where women are constantly pulling each other down, so it's important to see female characters who are supporting each other and are being there for each other. And though we only get a glimpse of their friendships within the books, it still would have been nice to have seen that bond within the films. Number 2 on my list is the Avocs. Now we definitely have a presence of the Avocs within the films, but they're not explained very well. In book 1, Katniss sees this girl being captured, and it's clear that she wants Katniss's help, but unfortunately Katniss is unable to provide that help. Then later on we see that girl as an Avox, and she's helping serve Peeta and Katniss while they're in the Capitol. Now I think why I would have liked to have seen this be explained deeper within the movies is because it opens up more light on the Capitol and how they're torturing people. You know, as if the Hunger Games themselves aren't enough to showcase how terrible the Capitol is. No, but I think it would have been nice to have exposed different ways in which the Capitol was just being straight up terrible, because it just makes the story that much darker. And yes, the Hunger Games is like the main thing that makes them so corrupt, but there are other terrible things that are going on within the Capitol as well. Number 3 on my list is the characters Bonnie and Twill. In the books, Katniss meets these characters Bonnie and Twill in the woods, and in my opinion they play a pretty important role in moving this story along, and that's because they reveal to Katniss the existence of District 13. And I almost feel like it's a point where everything starts to click for Katniss as to what's going on. Now they didn't make it into the films, but I would have liked to have seen them within the films, just because for me they were pretty memorable characters from that book. But I totally understand why I didn't make it into the movies. You know, you can't have every little detail within the story. If only these movies could have been like 12 hours long. Number 4 is one that was not in the books but was brought into play within the movies, and that is the perspective of President Snow. In the books we obviously read from Katniss's perspective. We are inside her head throughout that whole trilogy, but something that I loved so much about the movies is the fact that they kind of opened up different perspectives, and I adored seeing President Snow's perspective. Even though he's so terrible, it was so interesting seeing his thought process behind all the decisions that he was making, and I think it added some major depth to Snow's character. And finally, number 5 on my list is one that was definitely in the books, but we didn't really get to see it within the books, and that is the different rebellions that were taking place in the different districts. In the books, it was often just something that we were hearing about but never really seeing, so it was really cool kind of being able to see all the different rebellions that were taking place within the movies. So I really loved the fact that they kind of expanded on that in the movies, and you got to see the different ways in which the districts were just like sticking it to the man. Honestly, to me, one of the most powerful scenes in this whole movie trilogy is in Mockingjay Part 1. We've got Katniss singing the Hanging Tree song, and it leads into the rebels of District 5, and they're singing the Hanging Tree song as well, and it's just so haunting, and it gave me so many chills up and down my body. And District 5 blows up the dam, and it's just such an incredible and striking and outstanding scene from the movies. So those are just some things from the books that I would have loved to have seen within the movies, and some of the things from the movie that I would have liked to have seen within the books. Obviously, I love both the book and movie trilogy. I think that the books were obviously fantastic source material, and I think that the movies are just incredible adaptation. You guys should let me know down below some of the things from the books that didn't make it into the films that you would have liked to have seen, or let me know your favorite thing that they expanded on within the films. Also, if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so click subscribe if you want to be notified for when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, chew. Before I dive into this discussion, yeah. But today I'm gonna be just gonna subscribe if you want to be notified for when I post new videos.